Hey everyone, Human Shield 1991 back again with another edition of our Pokemon Showdown Generation 2 Random Battle Series. This is going to be episode 10. We finally hit episode 10 for Generation 2, and that's crazy. I know I've been a little on and off with these Showdown videos, just I've been so invested in the Nuzlocke. But I'm trying to get these out a little quicker. We just had a Gen 1 video that was put out, and people really seem to enjoy that one. Hopefully you'll enjoy this one. Hopefully you'll enjoy watching it more than I enjoyed having it, but we'll get into that in a little bit. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We are at about 190-ish subscribers right now, which means we are approaching the 200 goal, and there's a chance we can hit that by August 15th. Now, for those unaware, originally our goal was to hit 150 subs by August 15th. We hit that early, so the goal changed to 200 subs by September 15th, but if we're lucky, it's possible we could get those 10 or however many subs in the next 11 days. So, let's keep at it. If you are new to the channel, definitely subscribe. Or if you're not new to the channel but you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Other than that, be sure to like, comment. Don't forget the question of the day. And for this go around, the question of the day I think is just going to be, what is your least favorite status effect? That's poison, paralysis, burn, frozen, sleep, confusion. Let me know what is your least favorite effect on a Pokemon in the Pokemon games. Now, if you're watching the video and you enjoy it, be sure to definitely leave comments down below. Not just the question of the day. If you want, you can chat, you can mention something in the video, something I did wrong, something I did right, something your opponent did, our teams, if you like the Pokemon involved, whatever. Other than that, I do have a description with every previous episode, or I have a playlist in the description with every previous episode, along with every other series I have, so check all that out. But without further ado, let's get going into the video. It's going to be a longer one. Now, I did have to cut about 4 minutes of waiting for this battle to start, which was a good sign about how this was going to go. As you can see, we start off with a Machamp on our side and an Arcanine on their side. That Arcanine would prove to definitely be a threat as the video goes on. And I can't speak enough to how frustrating some of this video was. It was definitely a fun frustration at times, and just a chore at other times. But hopefully you enjoyed the battle. Now, for those who happen to be clicking this who are new to the channel, I know I've gotten a lot of subscribers recently. By my level, a lot of subscribers. I've gotten some new subscribers, and I'm not a competitive battler. I do not claim to be. I do not wish to be. I just like doing them for fun. I think it's a blast to do these random battles, not where you choose your teams or anything like that. I'm no good there. I just like, going in and having these random battles. It's just fun to me. So that's what I do, and that's what these videos are all about. And if I can learn a little on the way, that's great. King especially, shout out to him. He's always giving me tips, or in the Pokemon This or That series, which you should also check out. He always seems to give me information and background on the competitive viability of Pokemon, and I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm not a competitive player, but I do have fun. I have played Pokemon off and on for a long time. I played as a kid, and as you can see, Dunsparce is cursing, and I keep hazing, which is great. I absolutely love that. I've never used haze in my life, I don't think, until this battle, so it really came in handy. But yeah, I played Pokemon as a kid. I played Generation 1, 2, 3. I didn't get into 4 or 5. I got out of Pokemon during that period. And then I got back in around Generation 6. And then I really started paying more attention around 7 and then obviously 8 and now. So, I'm excited for Gen 9. But what I was not excited for was the issues with Quagsire and Dunsparce. And I did have Rest, which was nice, but I don't know. Rest was still kind of broken, I think, in this gen. And not necessarily in a good way. I mean, it can be. But the way you could rest while sleeping using sleep talk, it could be very frustrating. Regardless, as you can see, it's just a lot of back and forth. Dunsparce tried to set up more, so I was making sure I would haze, and I did, and it worked. And I'm sure they were as irritated as I was, because we kind of kept going back and forth with the same strategy. I didn't know what to make of my team, to be honest with you. I didn't love it. Now, I did have a champ who I could swap into, but if I swapped into him with his lower health, he could probably die from Dunsparce, especially if Dunsparce was setting up. So, at this point, I was kind of looking at my options to see what else I could do, and I saw him setting up more, which was less than ideal, but I thought maybe I could put it to sleep or paralyze it, do something. Unfortunately, Sleep Powder missed and Return did not, and Butterfree got hit hard. So at this point, I knew I had to do something and just hope I got lucky. And I did, thankfully. Sleep Powder worked. After I failed the first time, it was nice to see. I did get to heal up a little bit, but my options were still very limited. I immediately went for Nightmare because, hey, I figured that would be good. But I don't know, I'm not really familiar with Nightmare and Dream Eater and all those strats, so I'm not necessarily the best at using them yet. But, over time, hopefully I will improve in that regard. Unfortunately, Dunsparce just... It was difficult because he just kept stacking up. And Sleep Powder missed, the Return did not, and Butterfree went down. Bye-bye, Butterfree. Sweet little thing. Very sad. I sent out Starmie next, just hoping to get the Paralysis, because maybe I could get lucky with the Paralysis costing him a move, and it did in this case, so that was nice. And a Confuse Ray too, which is a great 1-2 punch. It's miserable to have it done to you, but it's fun to do it to other people. That is pretty much my thought process. Also, it helped that Starmie had a special attack and not a physical attack, which meant all that bulking up, or I say bulking up, setting up, really didn't mean that much. At least in this instance. Obviously, getting hit would still mean the end, but to get out of Paralysis and Confusion, not easy. Not easy. So that's where Starmie was coming through. Honestly, Starmie was a clutch player for a long period in this battle. And Starmie's kind of underrated in general anyway. I know some people don't like it. I think it's because lacks kind of a face. But I like it. I like Staryu, I like Starmie. I actually think it would be pretty cool to start a Nuzlocke off with them. Maybe one day I'll get lucky. Regardless, they were starting to take a while, and that will be a theme in this battle. They took a while at times to really get going, and that did make it more exciting later because the timer was so close to running out, and they had to keep going quicker and quicker to make sure they didn't lose that way. Anyway, I went for the same strategy, Paralysis and Confusion. They went for the immediate setup, which typical, but I understand it. Thankfully, the Paralysis and Confusion combo is deadly, and then I set out Raichu just to hopefully pop off some big damage and maybe take Kingler out before it could set up more or do big damage. Kingler is very cool too, by the way. Anyway, unfortunately they swapped out to Arcanine, but Thunderbolt still did a pretty good amount of damage. And since I want to do all of these status ailments, I went for a Paralysis instantly, but it went to sleep and got rid of it. I didn't mind too much though because I did have Surf and I was hoping it would do big damage. Honestly, considering that was a crit, it really didn't do too much. It was actually a disappointing amount, and their Fire Blast did pretty much as much or more, despite not being weak to it. I know it has a stab boost, but I don't know. I didn't like it very much. So you can see there, that's where the rest effect was really a pain. I'm pretty sure that stops after this gen. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong, or someone else watching, but I'm pretty sure if you did rest while resting in from Sleep Talk, in Gen 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'm pretty sure it just fails. I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure. I know at some point it does, but I don't know if it starts in Gen 3. I think it does. Regardless, Arcanine is still hitting hard, and Raichu can't really heal, so I'm just trying to do my best to take it out by any means possible. Now, it did cross my mind to try to switch to Quagsire, but I don't know. I guess I figured if I swapped out to that, it would just swap out anyway. So I don't know how good that would really do me. As you can see, again, I assume they were really thinking about what they were doing, and I don't blame them. Because this was a very competitive battle. This was a very, very close one. And I love those close battles, but the extent that this one goes, because if you're looking at the time now, you can see how long this video is. It's probably going to be a 25+ minute video, and we're not even 10 minutes in yet, so that's a sign to how this battle goes. Anyway, Raichu goes down, and now I'm down 2 Pokemon, and they're only down 1. Not great. No, I wasn't sure if going into Gligar or Gligar. I can never. Do you pronounce it Gligar or Gligar? Anyway, It came in, and it was kind of a risky move. Yes, I'm flying type, but I'm also ground, which is weak to grass, so I don't know if it was a smart move, a bad move, whatever, but I saw the wing attack, and I figured, hey, we can get some damage off that way. And it did okay damage. It didn't do good damage. It didn't do great damage, but it did okay damage. Second one seemed to do better, and now I was feeling fairly hopeful that we could take it out. As you can see, they were taking way too long, but they sent out Kingler here, and Kingler took the wing attack. Now, I decided to swap out at this point because I didn't want to risk it. I just didn't want to. It's like, yeah, there's a chance it would be paralyzed, but it wasn't worth it. Unfortunately, they did read it. That or they had a grass, which would have been good either way, but sent out Starmie, and Starmie got hit hard. My first instinct was to go for the Confuse Ray again. Whether it swapped or stayed in, it would be beneficial, and it worked out. It hurt itself. So the good thing about Starmie is I could recover, and that would be very important in this battle to probably an annoying degree, but it was definitely valuable here. And at this point, I was hoping for luck more than anything. I was really hoping the paralysis would pop, but it kept breaking through paralysis and confusion, which was very upsetting because it was starting to do more than I could heal. So that's never great. Thankfully, it hit itself in confusion that time, which gave me an opportunity to hit back. Now, I looked at my roster and I decided switching might be my best choice, and I switched to Quagsire just because I really wanted it to wake up. That was the big thing. Like, it being asleep was just difficult. I needed it to be awake to be able to do something, anything. And I knew a switch in wake up wasn't going to happen, but I hoped. I had hope. They used this opportunity to set up, which is definitely terrifying because Kingler, in my eyes, is an underrated Pokemon. But Quagsire does have haze, so all I need to do is wake up and send this thing packing. Hopefully the paralysis would slow it down. That was the plan anyway. As you can see, it was really setting up. It's very scary. Thankfully I woke up, used haze, knocked all of that off, and it got paralyzed, which was just beautiful. Beautiful. Now I really can't complain too much about status ailments because this one I really took advantage of the paralysis in this game and the confusion for that matter. But I mean, you gotta, right? Especially in this generation. It's like if you have an advantage, you need to take it. Anyway, return hit, and it did okay damage, but I don't think it did that much, probably less than I was hoping for. But at the same time, Earthquake was definitely doing less than I was hoping for, too. So it was kind of a mixed bag in that regard. That one did pretty good, though. That one did better. And now we were both just very close to dying. I figured, hey, if he stays in, I can kill it. If he swaps out, I'll get some big damage off on something. As you can see, we were still waiting. It drives me crazy. And again, I don't think people watching even mind that much. They know how Showdown is. Most likely, if you're watching this, you either play Showdown or you've watched enough Showdown where you know this is how it goes. But as a content creator or someone trying to create content, it does bug me a little bit. Anyway, unfortunately, they swapped out to Clefable, which was not who I was hoping for. I was really hoping they would stack off Arcanine or Vileplume, even though it wouldn't have made sense. Did some decent damage, but it was no use. Now, Machamp's back out, and the health is okay, but I figured a Cross Chop would destroy Clefable's life, so hopefully that would happen. But again, they weren't bad at all, at least by my level. I'm not saying if you're a pro, you're a pro player, you're an experienced competitive player, you might be able to scout them out and destroy them, but for my level, it's a very competitive matchup here. Very even. So, and that has its positives and negatives, as you'll see as the video progresses. We're now almost 15 minutes into the video, so we're probably 12 minutes into the battle or something like that. You can definitely see it's been even, it's been back and forth. I still have half my squad, he still has over half of theirs, Or she does. I don't know. Now, if you look closely, you can see that timer is slowly getting lower and lower, which is bad for them because they need to start doing their moves quicker. They don't have time to wait, or they're going to disconnect. I would have been frustrated if they disconnected, to be honest, even though at some point part of me would have been okay with it. Anyway, I went for Rock Slide, but of course Arcanine woke up. I didn't think Arcanine could wake up on the first turn like that, but somehow it did, and it rested. Just horrible luck, and Rock Slide didn't hit, so it backfired on me pretty much on all levels. At this point, I just wanted to try to keep getting damage off, but Fire Blast did so much. I don't even understand how it did that much. I mean, I guess I do. The chance special is probably really low, but man, I don't know. This Arcanine is really strong. Maybe I sleep on Arcanine. Like, I know Arcanine's great, but I didn't know it was like destroy everybody great like it's been in this battle. Also, that burn was very unfortunate because recovery doesn't stop things like that. So I was a little upset about that. I'm not someone who curses very much. It's just not my style, but I was definitely frustrated. I can say that without a doubt. They hit a body slam. I tried to heal up. The confusion did work, which was nice, but I couldn't do the paralysis. And honestly, even if I tried, I knew they would have just rested. But instead, they sent out Fable, which was kind of a surprise to me. I went for Thunder Wave at this point, and you know the strategy. Thunder Wave, Confusion, or Confuse Ray, excuse me. Thunder Wave, Confuse Ray, over and over. It's pretty much been my go-to for this entire battle, but it served me well. I mean, that's clear to say. Otherwise, I probably would have lost this a lot sooner. Unfortunately, Starmie went down, and that was very sad because it was a crucial member of the team, and I was left to just 2 members of mine against 4 of theirs, and let's face it, Machamp is not in great shape right now. Hit a big cross chop, and it did okay damage. Not as much as I would have hoped, but it did okay damage. And at this point, I figured Machamp's going down. But instead of going for the Fire Blast, it went for Rest, which surprised me, and then I got a big crit cross chop. Definitely needed that. But that Fire Blast hit, cross chop missed. I was a very unhappy camper at this point. I decided to go for Rest on the off chance that whatever it would do wouldn't work, and it worked out for me. I could rest. But unfortunately, we're still in the same spot. We're both resting. Neither of us can take the other out. And it's just the same over and over. Thankfully, Rock Slide did good damage. I believe it was a crit. I'm not sure. It was definitely super effective regardless, though. And Arcanine was very close. But lo and behold, it woke up. So it could rest again. Thankfully, I had a big cross chop. That one was definitely a crit. Big damage, and now I was just hoping to take the thing out. I figured I've got to be waking up any second now. Surely. It went for Sleep Talk. It did a body slam. I woke up, went for the cross chop. It hit. Arcanine went down. Or I was hoping it didn't. As you could tell, it didn't, but I was so sure it died, and I was literally, oh man, I was angry. I was like, I've never been as frustrated with a battle in my life. And it's really not that bad of a battle now that I'm watching it back. It's not that the battle itself was bad. I was just so inherently frustrated with how it was so even and no strat was perfect on either side. And I felt like I was being pro-played a lot, and then I was just frustrated. I was frustrated. It was probably also like 7 in the morning, so that probably didn't help matters. Anyway, they missed Fire Blast. I hit Earthquake. It did big damage, but the paralysis is definitely less than ideal. And if you're watching the chat, you can see that they're down to very low numbers because they took so long between their turns. So they have to pretty much rush to get their stuff done now. Otherwise, they would be disconnected. Anyway, hit a big move. Vileplume did not go down, which was very frustrating. But I was able to do okay. But the Moonlight, they beat the paralysis at the worst times, and I would get paralyzed at the worst times, and it would just be inherently frustrating. At this point, Vileplume was doing quite well, and I wasn't sure what to do, and then they hit the Leech Seed, and I knew I was in a bad spot. I needed a crit. That's what I needed. I needed a crit. I needed to not get paralyzed. At this point, it was a luck battle more than anything. It was any attempt we could just to get lucky. We didn't get lucky there. We did do some big damage, but it went for Sludge Bomb instead of Moonlight, which really surprised me. And that was pretty much my chance as long as I didn't get paralyzed. I didn't this time, and Vileplume finally went down. But the Leech Seed and the paralysis, it was going to be trouble. And they still had 3 Pokemon against our 2. They set out Clefable next, and I knew I had to swap. I had to, because I couldn't keep that Leech Seed going. It was going to be the death of me. So I switched out to Machamp, and thankfully they were paralyzed, so they could do whatever they wanted to. My immediate thought was Cross Shot, because it would just destroy Clefable's life. Or if they swapped out, it would kill Arcanine. And then, of course, there was the mystery person. But, of course, Cross Chop missed. Now, this is when I was really getting frustrated. Cross Chop missed, they put up Reflect, and then they got the burn, too. Horrible luck. And then I ran out of Cross Chops, but at this point it didn't even matter too much anyway. Although I did find out a little something that I didn't realize. Also, they had a Ho-Oh, so that's wonderful. But what I didn't realize is if you rest and you use Sleep Talk, it can do a move that's out of PP. So that's pretty useful. I guess it makes sense because Sleep Talk doesn't use the PP of that move, it uses Sleep Talk PP, but I never really thought about it before. Unfortunately, Cross Chop did not do anything to Ho, but I knew the rocks would wreck it. The rocks would completely mess it up, and that was my big hope at this point. Unfortunately, I rested instead, but I could have used that. I could use CHP. At that point, it worked in my favor. Also, Ho-Oh, very cool Pokemon. Very cool. Underrated. I know Lugia is way better, but, I mean, come on. Ho-Oh's cool. They swapped out to Clefable, but it kind of worked in my favor. The rocks came down. If they had stayed, it would have been so much better. I don't know if the rocks would have killed, but it is quite effective, so maybe. Either way, Cross Chop came, Clefable went down, and now it's a tie game. Not only is it a tie game, but Arcanine is miserably hurt, and we're getting down to the wire here. We are probably 20 minutes into the battle and 23 minutes into the video, so again, this is one battle. Just one. Sometimes I'll have 2 or 3 battles in a 10 or 15 minute video. It goes to show you how intense this was, and I don't know, maybe the teams were more balanced than I thought. At the time, I didn't think the teams were very fair or very balanced, but in retrospect, they must have been. I mean, how else could you have a battle this good? It certainly isn't because I'm that good, believe me. They sent out Ho when I was going for the Earthquake, which frustrated me, but I had a Hidden Power Rock up my sleeve to hopefully do big damage. Sacred Fire did good damage, but Hidden Power Rock completely decimated Ho-Oh, and now we, for the first time, I believe, have the numbers advantage. Yeah, there was the paralysis, and that was upsetting, but we had the numbers advantage, and we had the type advantage right now. It was actually finally working in our favor. Went for Wing Attack, and it did nothing. He completely ate it, so I decided to go for Earthquake, hoping it would do more, maybe. Now, Arcanine was like almost a pseudo-legendary, right? Not quite, but basically there. And wasn't in the anime it listed with like legendaries at some point in one of the early episodes, like in a Pokemon Center wall or something? Am I making that up? Let me know in the comment section. All I know is it's a beast. Unfortunately, Body Slam took out Gligar, and here we were. The two who this entire battle were stalling each other out back and forth, and now they're the final two, the Sleep Talkers, the Resters, and this is where we're at. This is where we're at. Sleep Talk failed because I woke up, but I wanted to go for the rock. They hit a big Fire Blast. It did good damage, almost half, but not enough, and I got the crit off. I knew they were going to rest because it's inevitable, but I wanted to take them out so badly. They didn't rest. They hit the body slam. The rocks hit. Arcanine went down, and we actually won. I cannot believe we won that battle. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was one of the most intense battles I've had. It was very frustrating at times, but especially watching it back, it was a really good battle in my opinion, at least by my level and my standards. And I don't know, it was a blast. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you stayed for the entire video. If you did, be sure to like, be sure to comment. Don't forget our question of the day, which is, what is your least favorite status ailment? Frozen, burn, paralysis, confusion, sleep, all that good stuff. Poison. Let me know in the comment section down below. So yeah, like, comment. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit that 200 goal. I said September 15th, but it looks like we can hit it by August 15th. I could be wrong. We'll see. But I think there's a chance. So please subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you're enjoying the content. If you are, don't forget I do have a playlist in the description for every series I have. That includes Showdown from Generation 1, 2, 3, and 4 as of now. Plus Nuzlocks. I have a Pokemon Blue Randomized Nuzlocke, a Pokemon Gold Randomized Nuzlocke. And for those who have been paying attention on Twitter, there might be another Generation 1 Nuzlocke on the way. Keep an eye out for that too. Plus I do other series like Pokemon This or That, PokeThoughts, and then I still have plans for other things like exploring the national decks. Hopefully at some point I'll finally get to it. So thank you again for all the support. Thank you for watching. And until next time guys, have a good one. Later.